Hello, and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen and more abortion research. I have yesterday's ABC News and the backstory from Joanna, and an interesting take on things from Blair. So, from New South Wales Health, introduction of the virtual rural generalist service started in July 2023.
The Virtual Rural Generalist Service is a virtual program that uses generalists from across the state and across the country to provide medical services to our rural sites.
The introduction of the Virtual Rural Generalist Service was a project that saw the expansion of the Western New South Wales VRGS service into Southern New South Wales. The project was a 6-month pilot to introduce VRGS into 5 sites across the district.
VRGS also covers our emergency department, our acute ward and our residential aged care facility.
We've seen instances where our patients previous to the implementation of VRGS would have to have been transferred physically to one of our larger sites, where now that patient can be assessed and treated on site and don't have to leave their community and families to travel to our larger sites.
Last year we revealed that staff at Orange Hospital had been directed to stop providing abortion services to patients who presented with no identified early pregnancy complications. That's despite abortion being a legal form of healthcare and despite the hospital previously providing the service regardless of the circumstances. Now, after we revealed or made those revelations, the ban was almost immediately overturned by the New South Wales Health Minister, Ryan Park. And now we've obtained this rather scathing letter signed off by 15 different doctors from what's called the Virtual Rural Generalist Service, which provides virtual services such as video consults to emergency departments across Western New South Wales. It has been sent to the chairman of the Western New South Wales Local Health District. That LHD oversees the Orange Health Service or the Orange Hospital. And in that letter, the doctors call the abortion ban a, quote, slap in the face to rural women. And it claims the decision to restrict abortion services is a violation of the Employee Code of Conduct. So the doctors call for any executives who were involved in the decision to restrict abortion services to be dismissed from their positions and referred to the National Health Regulator or the Public Service Commissioner. And the letter says the complaint has been lodged with the Independent Commission Against Corruption, or ICAC, as well as the national body that investigates healthcare complaints.
So, Lucy, is this something the ICAC could investigate?
Great question. Yes, it could potentially investigate. It's hard to say specifically, though, because the ICAC cannot comment on any complaints it's received or anything it is investigating, nor can the complainants comment. So we have little information, and we wouldn't even know necessarily know there'd been an investigation until any findings or results were made public. What we do know is that the local health district, the Western New South Wales Local Health District, commissioned an independent internal review into the abortion ban in late November following our reporting. And a spokesperson for the LHD has just told us, as part of our story, which is online today, that the findings of that review are now complete and that it's found there has been no serious maladministration under the state's Public Interest Disclosure Act. So for a bit of context, this means serious maladministration means conduct by an agency or public official in relation to a matter of administration that is unlawful or unreasonable, unjust, oppressive, or based on wholly or partially improper motives. So that's the finding. There's been no evidence of that under that internal independent investigation by the local health district. So based on the findings of that review, it would suggest, and bear in mind that the findings of that internal review are unlikely to be made public, one could assume it's unlikely the hospital will be sacking any executives or referring any of those executives who might have been involved in any ban to the National Health Regulator.
Over the last few days, the ABC has been releasing stories about how regional hospitals don't perform abortions. They fail to ask the question why. The reason is because doctors, nurses and midwives don't want to do it. They just don't want to brutally rip the arms and legs off babies while they're alive and can feel pain. They don't want to do that in the second trimester. They don't want to inject babies with potassium chloride in the third trimester. Doctors, nurses and midwives just don't want to do this work. But that's not enough for the ABC and the Greens, because the Greens has announced a new plan to spend our money to force doctors, nurses and midwives to do this. They're going to make funding public hospitals contingent upon abortions being performed right up until birth and for any reason. This is such a radical, extreme position to take, but lucky they've got the ABC to be their mouthpiece. We must not let the Greens do this with our money, and we must protect the rights of health workers for freedom of conscience. Sign my petition now to stop the radical plan by the Australian Greens.
Yeah, let's look at some freak
Let's
outs.
do that.
Yeah.
This is like porn for me.
Trump's actually gonna win this thing. I'm so pissed off. Good morning. The bigotry and hatred. I might wake up a mother. That's the one that said. We're scared for our lives. We're scared for our friends.
I hate this dumbass who can't shut his little pie-hole.
Who
It's foul.
is voting for him?
You. How fucking dare you?
We are. I chose women. I chose.
Like Sean Penn right there.
I'm done with you.
Great, great. It'll be like a really bad dream, and none of this will ever happen.
Wrong.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
I don't know how people
We
can
need
believe all that.
healing. We need healing. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all want to kill your babies so bad.
Yeah. I don't get it. Maybe I'm misinformed, but a lot of women ran to the polls to vote for abortion rights. To my knowledge, nowhere abortion has been banned, right?
No, Trump cannot sign, even if he wanted to, an abortion ban nationally, and Kamala could not have signed something that legalized it nationally. So
Right.
it's just, I never saw a candidate fight harder for the low IQ vote than
Exactly. No.
Camilla.
Yeah, I know.
And it was so apparent. It was just how she spoke. It was clear that she had no words for anybody with an IQ over like 80.
Exactly. That's who they target. They don't, because they can't win on policy. They gotta they gotta motivate and encourage the idiots to vote.
Well, you can say the Republican Party is part of diversity now.
Really?
He won the popular vote. He won a lot of blacks, a lot of
That's true.
Latinos.
It's looking more
lot of
diverse
women.
than the Democrat Party.
It
I'm
is.
looking at mostly just white women, mostly older, mostly
Yeah.
crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so actually all crazy. But the abortion thing has kind of sent me because I never thought too much about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had this kind of like, maybe I shouldn't say shit because I'm a fucking tranny. Let me just stay out of this one. But then I'm also like, the fact that y'all want to kill your baby so bad that you'll vote for World War III is kind of making me feel
I
like
know.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe
you
I'm
know-
a little less pro-choice.
And you know
now.
what's crazy? Back in the 70s, Democrats were so anti-war.
And that will do. See you later. Bye.